Hope, you start out like this. You put, dearest Mr. Great Santa Claus. Write that down.
No, Zeke, that is way too dramatic. How about my beloved Santa Claus?
No, that ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work. Start out like you say, Mr. Claus and Mrs. Claus, hello.
No, that is totally not how we're doing that. What if we just did Dear Santa, something casual?
Hey, that'll work. Write that down. Right there. I'd write it, but these little fuzzy hands don't hold that big old pen as good as yours.
Okay, let's see. Which one do we want?
That one on the left. Get that orange one right there.
That one. Okay,
write that down.
Obviously writing that down.
Oh, yeah, we need that.
Of course.
Yeah, check out that game right there.
Oh, so cool. I'm totally putting that on the list.
Yeah, write this one down here too. Yeah, that's what we need.
Yeah, we also need a controller.
What are you guys doing?
Man, we're making our Christmas list.
Yeah, we want to make sure that we have the best games for Christmas.
Oh, well, let me see that list. What do you have on here?
Man, like I got like football and some fuzzy slippers on there.
And I got a Nintendo Switch, 2 PS5s, 2 controllers, 1 gaming chair, and 2 playsets.
Do you think this is a bit much to ask for?
No, man, it's Christmas.
I mean, I know it's Christmas, but do you need all of this stuff?
But Mom, everyone else is getting them.
Yeah, we want them too.
It's not fair.
Now, Hope, you know that I do not allow the phrase, it's not fair, in this house. So don't start talking to me about things not being fair.
Well, it's not fair that some kids get more kids than me.
Yeah, and we just want to be like all the other kids.
Look, being like everyone else should not be your goal in life. So, let me ask you a question. Have you ever had a bad Christmas? I mean, ever had one where you weren't happy with your gifts?
No, not really. They've always been really great.
So why don't you just trust me to pick out some good gifts for both of you?
But if we don't make a list, then you won't know what stuff to get.
I'll tell you what. Let me tell you a story from the Bible.
Uh-oh. I think it's time for our Christmas adventure.
Oh, well, yeah.
Well, I guess we need our Advent candy. Today...
Ooh, candy.
Here you go.
Candy. Where's mine? Man, I love me some candy.
Zeke.
Sugar gets me hyper.
I noticed. I know. Okay, so what day are we on, Hope?
Today is day 12. Only 13 more days till Christmas.
That's right. And tomorrow, we'll be over halfway done with our Christmas adventure.
Yeah, are we going to be talking about those judges and that pendulum thing that went tick, 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 tick?
Oh, yeah. They got punished, then blessed, then punished, then blessed.
Well, okay, so we're not going to talk about that, and I need us to go back a little bit. So we're going to go back to the book of Deuteronomy.
Here we go again, going backwards, man. We are never going to get to the part where Jesus is born.
Yeah, Mom, you need to hurry this up.
Well, I'm very aware of how quickly Christmas is coming, but I want you guys to really understand this whole blessing and punishment thing. See, God had told them in the past that he was going to punish them if they didn't follow him. And he actually said he would curse them.
Curse them? When does God curse his people?
Really? Is it like casting a spell on them?
Like in Harry Potter?
Leviosa.
Well, no, not exactly. But I can see a resemblance. So I'm going to Deuteronomy chapter 28.
Big putty 8.
So God tells them in this chapter that he wants to bless them. And all they have to do is one thing.
Whoa, what's the one thing?
Well, the one thing is they have to follow God.
That doesn't seem that much to ask.
Well, it's not. And at this time, God had made it really easy for them to follow him. This was during the time when Moses was leading the children of Israel out of Egypt.
Oh, during those 40 years that they was walking around and around and around and around.
Oh, that's exactly right. And during this time, God, he put this cloud up in the sky, and it would move in the direction that God wanted them to go. And so it was really cool, and they knew which way to follow him.
That is amazing.
Well, you know what's more cool than that? Is that during the daytime, the cloud, it would block the sun so it never got too hot. It gave them a shade. But at night, do you know what that cloud would do? It would shine and give them light.
That is so cool. I've never seen a cloud do that.
Me either. So in Deuteronomy chapter 28, God said to listen diligently to his voice and obey his commandments. And if they did, the people would be blessed above all the nations of the world. And in verse 10, it says, and all people of the earth shall see that you are called by the name of the Lord, and they will be afraid of you.
That sounds like a good deal for the Jews.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah, but then God keeps talking, and for the next 53 verses, he tells them all the curses that he's going to put on them if they do not follow him.
Well, man, what's he going to do to them?
Well, first, their crops are going to be cursed.
Does that mean they have no food to eat?
Yes, and remember all those plagues that happened to the Egyptians? It's going to happen to them too.
Oh, no, man, that's bad.
Yes, and they would become slaves again.
I think they should just follow God.
Well, me too. But I want you to see what happens after the judges. So I'm going to jump forward to the last judge, a man named Samuel.
Oh, here we go.
Genesis,
Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, Joshua, Judges, Ruth, 1st and 2nd Samuel.
First and second Kings.
Well, hey, we're going to be talking about kings in just a minute.
All right.
So here we are. We're in 1st Samuel. And you know, I like to sing that song to help me find it. So during Samuel's time, the people, they wanted him to give them a king. They wanted to be like all the other nations who also already had a king at that time.
But wasn't God their king?
Yes, he is. And when the people asked Samuel to give them a king, Samuel, he got really upset. And he said, but God told him, don't you be upset. They're not rejecting you, they're rejecting me.
It's like they wanted to fire God from being their king.
Exactly. But God told Samuel, he said, just give them what they want, but first remind them of what God had promised them.
Do you mean the blessings and the curses?
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. So Samuel, he told them, he said that God had never taken anything from them, but a king would take from them. And the king, he would take their crops, and he would take their children and make them their servants. The list, it went on and on. Do you know what the people said?
No, what'd they say?
Well, let me read it to you. In Samuel chapter 8,
Big 8.
verses 19 and 20, well, the people said, we will have a king over us, that we may be like all the nations, and that our king may judge us and go out before us and fight our battles.
Kind of like Zeke and I said earlier, we wanted all the toys that everyone else had.
Exactly. You see, God knows what we need. He knows what's best in our lives, and we need to serve him all the days of our lives.
So God was their king, and they didn't want him to be king.
That's right. all the other nations, they realized that God was the God of the Jews and was much more powerful than any of their gods. The other nations realized their king was better than any other, but the Jews weren't excited about having God as their king.
That reminds me of the song we sang at Do Re Mi last year.
Oh yeah, do you remember that? You know what? I asked our buddy Taj to play it. Why don't we make it come on and you can sing along with it?
Hit it, Zeke.
I love this song, don't you, Hope? Get all excited, go tell everybody that Jesus Christ is King. Get all excited, go tell everybody that Jesus Christ is King. Get all excited, go tell everybody that Jesus Christ is King. Jesus Christ is still the King of Kings.
Man, that's cool. Hope, don't you sing that verse?
Yeah.
Sing it.
You talk about people, you talk about things that really aren't important at all. You talk about weather, you talk about problems we had here at home or abroad. But friend, I'm excited about a solution for the one I'm gonna shout and sing.
Jesus Christ is still the King of Kings.
Get
All excited, go tell everybody that Jesus Christ is King. Get all excited, go tell everybody that Jesus Christ is King. Get all excited, go tell everybody that Jesus Christ is King. Jesus Christ is still the King of Kings.
Woo, that's good, Hope.
That was fun. But you know what, guys? I think it's time for us to tell our friends bye now, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, come back tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for watching this Christmas adventure as we study the true meaning of Christmas. Over 2,000 years ago, Jesus Christ came to this earth as a baby. He lived here for 33 years. He lived a perfect life. He gave his life on the cross of Calvary so we could be saved. 3 days later, he arose from the grave. He remained on this earth for 40 days before he went back into heaven. As he left in a cloud, angels told his disciples Jesus would return to earth one day. This season, as you look forward to celebrating Christmas, pay attention to the feeling of anticipation you feel. Remember the promise, he is coming again. This time he will not come as a baby, but as a king. May the feeling of joy and anticipation of his second coming be even greater than Christmas. The King is coming.